This is the biggest mistake first-time buyers make on their first car flip. My name's RIDZ. I buy and sell cars full-time. For the past 3 years, I've been buying cars, whether it's salvage or even clean cars. Today, I'm going to talk you through this complete presentation. So, the biggest mistake is using trade auctions. So whether it's COPART, BCA, or SYNETIQ, also known as IAA, they rechanged the name. So, here's the big problem. Whatever you bid on, you're stuck with that car. That means if you win a lemon, which is basically a dodgy car or bad car, you have to pay for it. There's no way out of it. You're stuck with that car. So let's be real. You've never done this before. You're guaranteed to buy a car that isn't going to make you profit. And you are new to car flipping, right? You've never done this before. So these three companies here, chances are you've seen them logos before. You're very familiar with them. Maybe you watch Matt Armstrong videos. Maybe you've come across these auctions on TikTok, and now you're thinking of buying your first car to flip because you've seen more experienced guys buy from these places here. Now, what does that actually mean? You're going to be paying high auction fees, so you're going to be, should basically worth a car alone. So let's say you win a car for £1,000, your auction fees are going to be between £300 and £400, plus some extra stuff like internet bid fees and whatnot. Then you have to get the car recovered, which is basically bringing it back, so having the car delivered. And then you have to park that damaged car somewhere. So whether that's your driveway or whether that's on some piece of land, right? You have to have that car put somewhere, storage. You can't the car's obviously not just going to end up on the side of your street, right? That's not good to have. If you live on a street with loads of terrace houses and you park a damaged car there, that's not fun for your neighbors. Then you have to have the car repaired. So either you have to have it repaired by someone, let's say go to a garage, you have to sell the car to them, so to pre-arrange that with them to have the recovery driver deliver that to them, or you have to repair the car yourself. And again, you have no experience, which means you're going to do a poor repair, which isn't good at all. But when you come to sell the car, and when you're selling a cat car, which might be category S or N, basically a damaged car, that's less desirable and obviously takes longer to sell, as I was saying. Not to mention, to fix a car, you need parts, right? So that's an even bigger headache. I'm going to show you a great example of a damaged car, which this guy here, this TikToker, big up to him. This was his first car flip, I believe. And he bought this from COPART. So this was a Seat Ibiza, right? You can see it all seems well and good. It's a category S damaged car, recorded on the rear end, right? So it looks like you won the car decently cheap. Went to go and collect it. On delivery of the car, it seems pretty basic, right? Rear quarter needs some pulling work, so it needs some body work done to it. And it needs a rear bumper. So he did the obvious next big thing. He went all the way to London, bought a bumper and a taillight, £110. Decent price, fair play. But he needed a bit of extra work done to it. And he needed some jigging work done, which is obviously not an easy task. And you can see he had to send the car to a body shop. And how much did that end up costing him? £1,250. Probably more than the price of the car spent on bodywork alone. If that doesn't put into context for you how complex a salvage car is, what more can I say? For the price of 2 cars, he spent on bodywork. And what was the result? The car looks pretty nice, but you can imagine he probably had to wait to have the car repaired. Not fun if you're a new car flipper. Let's look at the bigger picture. These cars end up in an auction for a reason. So when you talk about salvage auctions, the car clearly wasn't worth fixing and it cost too much. So because it's an older car, so the insurance company wrote it off. The majority of people overpay and they end up breaking even or making a loss on those cars after selling them, repairing them and whatnot. And with trade auctions, someone sells their rot box of a car, some banger, to a middleman. So like me buying a car, to get rid of it because they don't want anything to do with the car. Maybe they just want money, like £200 or whatever they offer them. It gets passed through to trade auctions like BCA. So for those of you who aren't familiar, BCA auction is actually in partnership or in affiliation with We Buy Any Car. So this car, for example, let's say someone just had some big mechanical issues. They sold it to We Buy Any Car, which ended up in BCA with guys like yourself buy the car, which you end up buying. And that leads to a cycle of you end up being broke because you overpaid in a car that isn't worth buying. To then you end up working on a car which has extra issues with it, or just a bit complex and you're not sure how to deal with it, or you've never experienced that before, so you're not sure what to do. Then you run around like a clown for parts, you're wasting time looking for recovery and all these other things, ringing around for services, trying to find the best deals. to spend, to reduce your expenses. And as a result, once you finally got the car repaired, when you come to sell it to a customer, they put off and they don't end up buying the car. So let's face it, no one really wants to buy a categorized, previously damaged car repaired by some kid on the driveway or a dodgy backstreet garage which which you took to them just to save a bit of money. Especially when there's no V5C logbook, and remember, these cars usually don't come with a logbook, or you have to wait weeks or months for that logbook to come, and you add the additional owner on. There's no service history with them cars, and yes, it is very unlikely that you will find any service history with these cars. And finally, poor repairs because you tried to save money. They're just gonna come to guys like me, selling a cleaner car which hasn't been in an accident, and I'm gonna sell the car for more, which they'll be happy to pay for just because it's a cleaner car. And I've done a fraction of the work on the car compared to what you would have done. So what's the solution then? It's simple. The biggest issues with buying your first car to flip from an auction is that you're spending maximum time working the car for minimum profit. We like to go in the opposite direction and make maximum profit for minimum work. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. On the left, we have the classical fumbler, which I like to call, right? Someone who doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to flipping cars. They buy a damaged car. The max they could probably sell that car for is £1,300. Bear in mind, you have all the previous expenses of buying the car, the auction fees, having the car delivered, and then repairs, right? To then end up with no service history, no logbook, hidden damages underneath, and overall it's just undesired, right? No one wants a car that once looked like this. On the flip side, you've got a car which you can sell for an uncapped price, a HPI clear car which has never been in an accident. I can sell that for £2,200. I can sell it for £1,800. I can buy that car for fairly cheap and make a £1,000 profit on it with the right sales system. We're talking stacks of paperwork with the car, clean history, so you've got service history and whatnot with the car. Many buyers would rather go for this car here than what you see on the left. And you would yourself too, right? If you're taking your family out for a long drive and you end up in a, God forbid, you end up in an accident, would rather end up in this car here or this car here, which has been repaired. You'd obviously rather go for the cleaner car. So I leave you with two options. You want to either blindly waste your time and money because everyone else goes on a salvage auction or trade auction, or do you want to make maximum profit for minimum work? If you chose the latter, here's exactly how you can get started. You're looking to get started with your own car flipping journey, but you're not sure exactly how to get started, what cars to buy, or how much to sell it for, even how to attract those high-paying customers. Simply book a call with the link in the description and can learn one-to-one with me. These are some of the results that we've achieved for other complete beginners. That being said, then check out my other videos on car flipping, drop a subscribe, and see you in the next video.
Show me the